Hi guys, today we're going to work on expanding and factoring. I can organize my work when I use the distributive property. I can use the distributive property to rewrite expressions with positive and negative numbers. And I understand factoring and expanding are words used to describe the distributive property and write equivalent expressions. So for the first one, I want you to circle the step that you should do first in each expression. So remember, you've got please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. So I'm looking for parentheses first. So I don't have parentheses in the first one, but I do have multiplication. So I'd have to multiply first. In this one, I have parentheses first. This one, multiplication first. This one, parentheses first. Now this one has subtraction in both, and I have to work left to right. So I'm going to do that part first. My circle wasn't very precise. There we go. All right, so that's all I wanted you to do for that one. So now we're going to factor and expand with negative numbers. So we have our factored expression, which is what's in orange, and then we have our expanded expression, and that's what's in orange. So we're going to start by factoring. So that means we're going to do 5 times a, and I should probably use a pen. We're going to do 5 times a, and we get 5a, and we're going to do 5 times negative 6, and we get negative 30. Okay, so our factored expression would be, or our expanded expression would be 5a minus 30, and then I stop. I don't go any further. That's where I'm at. For the next one, they've already expanded it, and they want us to factor it out. So I'm going to pull out a 2 from both. So I'm looking for my greatest common factor, and in this case, it was 2. So 2 times what? 2 times what is going to give me 6a? So that's 2 times what gives me 6a? Well, 2 times 3, and then I would also need an a. So up here should be 3a. Then I have to do the same thing again. So I have 2 times what is going to give me negative 2b. Well, to be a negative, I have to have a negative number here. And it's going to be 2 times 1. It's going to be negative 1b. So I could have minus b, or I could have negative 1b. Either way. So from there, my factored expression would be 2 parentheses 3a minus b. So now let's practice. So we're going to factor it. So negative 1 times 2x gives me a negative 2x. And then a negative times a negative is a positive 3y. So my expression would be negative 2x plus 3y. For the next one, I would put k on the outside, and then 4 minus 17. So I end up with 4k minus 17k. So I end up with 4k minus 17k. Because a negative times a positive is a negative. The next one, I've got negative 2x, and then I've got a positive 3y, and a minus z. So that gives me a negative 6xy, and then a negative 2xz. So my expression would be negative 6xy minus 2xz. So now I'm going to factor it. I'm going to pull out a number that is a factor of all of the parts. So this is the expanded form, and I want to pull out the important parts. So I see 20, 10, and 5. So I know I can pull out 5, and none of the letters are the same, so I'm going to pull out a 5. So 5 times what is 20x? 5 times 4x would give me 20x. 5 times what gives me a negative 10y? 5 times negative 2y. 5 times what gives me a positive 15? So that would be 3z, and that would be a positive. So my expression would be 5 parentheses 4x minus 2y plus 3z. All right, let's try the next one. So I start with 10a minus 13a. So 13 is a prime number, so I know I have to be able to pull out the a. So a times what is 10? 10. A times what is negative 13a? Negative 13. So my expression would be a parentheses 10 minus 13. All right, the last one is AB, BC. Oh, wait, I forgot the minus sign. Minus BC minus 3BD. Well, I don't have any number in common. All I have in common are the B's. So I'm going to pull out a B. So I'm left with A. I'm left with a minus C. And I'm left with a minus 3D. So my expression is going to be B parentheses A minus C minus 3D. All right, so now I'm going to do the next one. The first one is it factored. So I have negative 1/2, 2x minus 8y. So half of 2 leaves me with just an x, and it's going to be a negative x because a negative times a positive is a negative. Negative 1/2 times 8 would give me 4, and a negative times a negative is a positive. And then I'd bring my y along. So I have negative x plus 4y. And then I stop. For this one, I have 12a minus 14b. So I'm looking for my greatest common factor, which would be 2 in this case. So 2 times 6 is 12. Bring the a along for the ride. 2 times negative 7 is 14. Bring the b along for the ride. So the factored expression would be 2 parentheses 6a minus 7b. All right, now I've got negative 3 minus 12x minus 9y. Well, a negative times a negative is going to be a positive. 12 times 3 is 36x. And then negative 3 times a negative 9 is going to be a positive 27y. So my expanded is 36x plus 27y. For the next one, I've got negative 14a and then minus 10b. So I can pull out a negative 2. And I can pull out a negative 2 because both of these are negative. So that leaves me with negative 2 times 7 is going to give me negative 14a. And then negative 2 times 5b. And that 5 is going to be a positive. So my factored is negative 2 parentheses 7a plus 5b. So now I need you to do your pull down. You're going to choose the equivalent expression for each. If you get stuck, you can draw a diagram to organize your work. Have a great day.